Alabama versus Tennessee. We kind of talked about the chaos that is caused by the outcome of this game. If Alabama wins, they're riding high into that LSU matchup with the possibility that they can make the playoff, which I don't want to have to watch that. I don't want to have to watch them make the playoff. Conversely, Tennessee hasn't been great, but they're still fighting to remain in that conversation in their division, in the SEC. I don't think that they can necessarily get to the SEC championship game, but they could still finish with 2 losses, potentially 1, because the remaining stretch of their season is doable. Probably 2 because they still have to play Georgia. This game, though, is so perfectly crafted in the sense. This is a Big Ten matchup right here, man. This is a Big Ten head-to-head battle between Tennessee and Alabama because we've got 2 elite defenses, 2 of the statistically most dominant defensive lines in the country. James Pierce Jr. is so freaking good for Tennessee. Dallas Turner has turned it on. That secondary for Alabama with Kool-Aid McKinstry and Terrion Arnold has been amazing. 2 amazing defenses going up against 2 teams that run the ball well and can't throw the ball consistently for shit. They'll go one half moving the ball through the air amazingly, and then another half it's just non-existent, which happened for Alabama last week against Arkansas, kind of helped Arkansas climb back into it. But Sean, this is a Big Ten matchup right here. If we got to
stop saying that, brother. I can't believe you doubled down. These fans are
tell me it's not. Tell me it's not
unsympathetic.
Look. I don't care. I mean, you guys not compare yourself, but claim that the SEC is so much better than the Big Ten, and you just spit out Wisconsin, Iowa. That's what we've got going on here. Between 2 of your best teams.
Look, I don't like the end result of this game on either side, right? Like, if Alabama wins, they're definitely going to be 5 yelling about the playoff at the end of the year. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. I don't think they make the top 4, but boy, are they going to just add a huge wrench into that decision for who goes to this playoff in the final year of the 4-team format. I know Saban can't wait another year to get to 12. If Tennessee wins, then you have little scoops of expectation starting to get mounted on them, and they're not good enough to go to the CFP. So it just seems like, what are we playing for here, if not to let Alabama have its late season dramatics? And I am tired of the late season dramatics, hysterics, Saban going on NBA tip-off to try to sway voters. I'm sick and tired of the Alabama polling, and the only way that can happen is if Tennessee wins, and if Tennessee wins, then the floor drops out later. So it's just, there's no good end game in this game for me, or I think just for college football sanity. And trust me, I love the chaos, but this seems like it's what's the daytime? This seems like soap opera chaos. That's what this seems like.
You think and this is Days of Our Lives?
This is Days of Our Lives.
Oh my God.
It feels too scripted. I don't like it.
Sure. Specifically talking about this game, though, I honestly, I think it's really just as simple. Okay, there's 2 alleys to this. I think that the winner is as simple as which quarterback plays the best. I really think it's Joe Milton, who went like 10 for 21 last week for 100 yards and a pick, and then Jalen Milroe, who actually statistically has not been that bad over the past couple of weeks, but we all know his limitations. We all know the limitations that Jalen Milroe has when he's not just throwing the ball deep. He has a lot of issues and turns the ball over. So who is the better stat line is kind of what I'm looking at, because they're both going to try to establish the run game. And I think part of what comes into play here, Tennessee's offensive line is vastly better than Alabama's. Alabama's is in the bottom third in tackles for loss allowed, in sacks allowed. And if you put on the film, their guys are just getting the shit kicked out of them on a snap-to-snap basis. They are not playing well. And that's why I lean Tennessee here, is that I think that Tennessee has that advantage of protecting Joe Milton and that run game, establishing that run game, they're going to be able to do it a little bit just slightly easier than what Alabama is going to get in this game.
I liked your first point. I would have reworded it to which quarterback doesn't play worse. Because I think,
Jeez.
I mean, playing the best, technically they're one in the same. But I don't know if either quarterback has had a season good enough for me to say who can outduel the other. It doesn't seem like an outduel. It seems like who doesn't throw it to the opposite jersey color more. And that's what I'm riding on. And I think it might be Joe Milton. For some reason, when Milroe gets within the 30, it feels like he's just targeting the other team. Why is that? You can march down the field. You can run. You're big. You're strong, fast, athletic, good arm. And you get within the opposing team's 30, and it's just SpongeBob brain, panic, screaming, flashing lights. Just focus in, make your reads. I'm making it sound easier than it is. It's terribly difficult, but I think Milton might turn it over one time less. But I am not projecting a 0 turnover game. Let's be clear.
Again,
that's a crazy person's wager.
This is Big Ten West football happening in the SEC.